I have here 6 new perfumes that recently joined my collection, and today I'm going to share my honest reviews. So if you want to know if these new releases are worth the hype, then just keep on watching. So let's start with the one I was super excited about. It is Tropikalys Karma from Lorenzo Pazzaglia. And I have to say, I have been loving Lorenzo Pazzaglia's creations for a while. However, I was not really keeping up with their newest releases. But then, when I came across an Instagram post and I read the notes, like papaya, peach, banana, melon, and a whole basket of tropical fruits, I knew that I had to try it. And I have to say, it didn't disappoint. So, the opening is that pure fresh papaya. It's juicy, it's bright, however, a little bit plasticky smelling, but not in a bad way, okay? And then it softens into this creamy, peachy, slightly banana-y melon, and I swear it almost smells like passion fruits as well, even though passion fruits are not listed. So, it's that kind of tropical, like tropical everything. And now you may think, okay, we have seen this. Is that another herba pura situation? But I'm going to say this very nicely. Please, Fracom, stop comparing every fruity perfume to herba pura. This is much creamier, less sharp, and honestly, I find this much, much more wearable. And I clearly remember the first time when I sprayed this, I was sitting on my couch and I just kept smelling my arm like an absolute weirdo. It is really like a tropical vacation. And the performance is stellar, exactly how we used to from this brand. A solid 7 to 8 hours with nice projection. So it's really, as I said, a summer vacation in a bottle. Alright, so moving from a tropical paradise to a kind of disappointment, unfortunately, and this is going to be Prada Paradoxe Sweet Chemistry. And we all know the original Paradoxe is that beautiful, sweet, white floral, slightly musky, and very elegant DNA that I genuinely love. So when this flanker was announced, I was so excited, I was so curious, and I was thinking, is it better than the original? And the short answer is, for me, no. So the opening is actually gorgeous. It has this lovely blackberry milkshake with floral undertones. And when I smelled it first, I thought, okay, Prada, I may just immediately love this. But the problem is that that blackberry doesn't last. After that initial burst, it becomes a skin scent really fast and the projection is nowhere near the original. By the way, a bit more detailed review is already up on my channel, so feel free to check that one out. Now, full disclosure, my bottle might just need some time to mature and macerate after shipping, because sometimes that genuinely makes a difference. So this one is going to in that perfume jail. And if you have been here before, then you know my system. I test every perfume 2 or 3 times in different weather, different moods before I decide its fate. So, Sweet Chemistry, you're not decluttered, but you are definitely on probation. Then, if we move on to the next one, and sometimes fragrance gods give you exactly what you were missing. And that one brings me to this one, which is Dolce&Gabbana, Your Devotion. And this one is an absolute love. I really enjoy the original Devotion. You know, that candied lemon, that vanilla, that almost gourmand but not quite quality. So when this flanker came out, I was really curious what kind of direction they would go. And they went creamy. So it features the notes of creamy melons, citruses, orange blossom, and vanilla in the base. So you will still get that devotion DNA. The bright citruses are there. The orange blossom will add that floral aspect. But the creaminess wraps around everything and makes it this soft, joyful, and very addictive scent. You You know those perfumes where you just keep going back to smell yourself, and that's your devotion for me. It's like a soft, fruity bubble around you on a summer evening. It's very comforting but still fresh, and the performance is solid, 6 to 7 hours with a relatively nice scent bubble. So if you like the original but wanted it even fruitier, a bit creamier, or a bit more joyful, then this is absolutely the one. Now let's switch gears completely because this next one is not really a summer perfume, and I honestly love it for that. So this is going to be Valentino's Vendetta. And for those who don't know, I also didn't know, this is actually a re-release of an older perfume, but I never smelled the original, so I came into this with completely fresh eyes or eventually nose. But first of all, can we appreciate this bottle? Valentino really understood the assignment because it's very bold, sexy, but still simple. But, anyways, it opens up with a blast of blood orange. But it is not that bright, zesty, happy orange. It is very dark, voluptuous, almost a little bit moody. And it has that slightly vintage DNA that we had in the late 90s and early 2000s. You know, where perfumes actually still had good depth and presence. So after that opening, it melts into a very thick orange blossom and sandalwood with vanilla adding also some sweetness. So you may think sweet orange blossom, vanilla, how different can it be? However, I would say this has a kind of darkness, a sultriness that sets it apart. This is really evening, this is date night, this is like I have kind of secrets energy. And right now in summer it feels heavy. I think it will truly shine in autumn and I cannot wait to wear it. Alright, let's lighten things up, and I mean it literally because this bottle is gorgeous. So it is Venus de Nina Ricci from Nina Ricci. And I don't own too many perfumes from her, but I know that she always delivers on bottle design. And this one in particular is very, very summery, romantic, and feminine at the same time. The scent features sweet candied orange blossoms and pineapple. And now I have to be honest, I usually don't love pineapple in perfumes because it can go really sharp and even can remind me of pina colada candles. But here it's pretty much restrained. It adds just a little bit of tanginess and edge to an otherwise beautiful sweet orange blossom. It's a fruity floral done in that, typical designer DNA. Crowd pleasing, easy to wear, nothing really challenging. However, one thing, when I first smelled it, I immediately thought, okay, I have this already in my collection. Because to me, the opening is very, very similar to Alien Goddess Florale. And even though the dry down is a bit fruitier here, but yeah, honestly, I would say if you own Florale, you probably don't need Venus. They share that same candied orange blossom, slightly tropical, very pretty vibe. The performance is moderate, about 5 hours, perfect for spring and summer, daytime, brunch, shopping, anything where you just want to smell lovely without shouting about it. And now I have one here that I feel like absolutely nobody is talking about. And this is Hugo Boss The Scent Intense, the 2026 version. It actually came out a few months ago, and I haven't seen anyone even mentioning it. And to be honest, I don't understand why. Because the moment I smelled it, I was like, this is giving black opium, but maybe a little bit more coffee. So it features the notes of coffee, obviously, amber, orange blossom, and coffee blossom. So eventually you're getting coffee from multiple angles, which give it a bit more depth, that kind of roasted dark coffee presence, a little bit more than in black opium. And now here's my honest take. If you own the original black opium, then you don't need this one. They are close enough, not being able to justify to have both in the collection. But if you like Black Opium's vibe and you want a little bit more coffee and maybe a little bit less sweet, however, I'm not that sure about that, then this is actually a solid alternative. My only complaint for something that's called intense that I expected a little bit better performance. Maybe like 4 or 5 hours. But in general, it's a good perfume, nothing groundbreaking, but absolutely underrated, and I'm happy to be the one finally talking about it. So there you have it, 6 new perfumes in my collection and my completely honest thoughts on all of them. Let me know in the comments, have you tried any of these, or are there any new releases that you are especially looking forward to? And if you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more honest fragrance reviews. And as always, just keep on smelling good and feeling good, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.